Does Battlefield 5 have enough content? Hey guys and welcome! So today I wanna take a look at something that, well, essentially the Battlefield community created itself. It wasn't really forced by anyone else but us. Especially on Reddit. Because every single time I go over to Reddit, and really I don't intend to hate on the website because the website is great, but majority of the people on the Battlefield subreddit are quite toxic, and the point is, every single time I go to the Reddit of Battlefield 5 or the general Battlefield 1, there's always someone complaining that there isn't enough Battlefield 5 content. Or content in Battlefield 5, that would make more sense. And it left me wondering, is it really the case? Because Battlefield 5 doesn't seem to be lacking content compared to the previous games. Really, it doesn't. It's always been pretty much the same in all of the Battlefield games, when they launch of course. So I did a bit of a rundown and counted some of the things, comparing them to the previous Battlefield titles, and I got to say that compared to Battlefield 1 or even Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5 has much more unique vehicles in the game. If you compare planes, and if you compare ground vehicles such as tanks, or actually only tanks cause there isn't LAVs in Battlefield 5, but if you compare them across Battlefield titles and how unique they were, I don't mean the exact amount of them, because in the previous Battlefield games pretty much all of the vehicles for each faction were exactly the same. They had the exact skill tree, they had the exact same capabilities, they weren't really different from each other. Here, in Battlefield 5, they're actually much different, and there is a clear distinction between each type of the plane and the vehicle. Speaking of the weapons, again, it's pretty much the same amount that we used to have in the previous Battlefield games at the start when they launched before the premium and DLCs came. Granted, I would agree that the Battlefield 5 could potentially have more weapons at launch, and especially a couple of new unique weapons that we haven't seen in Battlefield 1, because if we see the same weapons in Battlefield 1, then we have the same weapons in Battlefield 5, even though I know it's World War I, World War II, still it leaves kind of a feeling of reusing certain assets. Even though they probably had to design them from the scratch, specifically for Battlefield 5 once again, still, it gives you this weird feeling that you're playing kind of the same weapon, but again it's totally different in Battlefield 5, so it's like, is it really the same weapon or is it not? And when it comes to the maps, we have 8 maps at launch. 8 maps, and the 9th one is actually coming on the December 4th or December 6th. I'm not exactly sure about the exact date, but it's coming at the beginning, in the first week of December with the live service, so we're almost getting 9 maps at launch. Because the 9th one is launching actually like 3 weeks after the game comes out, so it's like almost right away. And again, I wouldn't say it's bad, it's normal for a Battlefield game. I mean, we've been getting the exact same content year to year, or actually game to game, because they come out every 2 years, but you guys get the point. The point is, we've already had the same content amount in the previous Battlefield games. So why are we now complaining that there isn't enough content in Battlefield 5 before the live service even started? Now, just to make the things clear, I don't really know what will happen with the content a year from now or 2 years from now, because realistically we don't really know much about the live service. Still, we don't know how many weapons they will implement, we don't know how many new vehicles will come to the game. The only thing that we know about is pretty much the general approach for the maps that we will be getting, and stuff like test range or rush as the limited time game mode, but that doesn't really explain much. What will be the changes done to the game? What will be the new weapons? We don't know any of it still. The point I'm trying to make with this video is that there is really tons of people complaining about not having enough content in Battlefield 5, and yet they bought the game being completely aware how much content there is in the game. Because realistically, you get a list of content before you buy the game on Origin, and also you can just Google the amount of content that Battlefield 5 has. Especially after EA hosted the whole Battlefield launch event for the YouTubers, so you could even see how much content there is in the game before the full game even came out. It's crazy, you could do it, and I'm not defending EA, I'm not defending them that they're not introducing more content into the game. The only point I'm trying to make is that why are we actually complaining if every single one of us was fully aware of how much content we are getting in the game before getting the game? It's not like it was a secret unboxing where you didn't know what you're getting and what game you're gonna be playing at the end of 2018. You knew exactly that Battlefield 5 will have this and this amount of content. Besides, all of this complaining and whining all over the internet will not actually change anything, because that's just how the gaming industry works now. You get a base game when the game launches, and then the studios are implementing more and more content into it as the time goes on with the live service. At this point, it shouldn't really be a surprise, especially seeing Fortnite and what they're doing, and complaining about it won't make any difference. So it's not like I'm saying we shouldn't criticize anyone and we should be fine with everything, but at the same time, there's a big difference between constructive criticism and simply whining and just hating on something, which is what the majority of the people who dislike the amount of current Battlefield 5 content are doing. Anyway guys, that would be it for this video. But before you click off, let me know down in the comments how much do you actually like the current Battlefield 5 content. Do you think it's enough? Do you think it's not enough and it should have been more? Let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you on the battlefield.